I want you to put a very big, broad reason why you want the goal of good health. Okay? Okay? So broad, big. Go for the sky, the moon, in why you want good health. What is your mission? What is your purpose? Your overall health goal? How would it look like? And I'm going to go and do the short term, and then we're going to stop and share. Okay? So that we'll see what people are saying. Then the short term mission, like my big term mission, I want to have good health. My short term mission is I want to have good health because. It has to have a reason. I want to have good health because blank, 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 blank. Okay. I had a health guest and she was something else. She comes here so many times. She used to come at least once a quarter for 1 or 2 days because she lives just in Fredericksburg. And she says, and back then she was like in her late 70s, and she says, my grandson is 13 and I want to be at his wedding. That was one of her goals, why she wants to have health. And so we have these short-term goals of why. I want to have good health. I want to be a blessing to my community. I want to have good health because I want to be around for my grandchildren. I want to have good health because I want to do this or that. These are your short-term health mission. Now, before we get to the A, does anyone like to share their long-term health mission? All right, Dave.
I wrote, I want to learn how to cook and eat well in order to live long and disease-free and be able to teach others to do the same and why.
Okay. Now, I would actually put those right down here to short term and then make a broader one for your bigger one. Okay, so it could be, my health mission is to be healthy, to be a witness to my community. That's really broad. And then how are you going to do it? I'm going to learn how to cook healthy. I'm going to share it with my community. I'm going to do those things. So the top one is really big and broad. Okay, but those were very good. Okay, anybody else like to share?
I just put to share.
Okay, so I want to be healthy to share. That's pretty broad, and that's good. I want to be healthy to share. Anybody else want to share?
I put to help others and to live pain-free.
All right. I love that.
Long term.
Yes, I like that. You know what I really like it, Lynn? Is that you didn't put for me to be pain-free first before you help others. Mm-hmm. You put I want to help others and be pain-free. I like that. Okay. Miss Jarrett?
I want to live long and healthy to help others and be a witness in my community.
All right. Okay. Miss Yogi, do you want to share? I don't want to ignore you. You don't have to, but I don't want to pass you by if you want to. Okay, that's fine. Now, A is to make an assessment. So assess. We're going to assess. I'm going to write it here. A-S-S-E-S-S. To assess is to evaluate. To make an evaluation. You know, in the Bible, God asked Moses to make an assessment. When he told him to go to Egypt, you know, and he says, I can't go. I don't know the language. It's been so long. I've been out here with these sheep for 40 years. Why do you want me to go? I feel so inadequate. He said, Moses, take an assessment. What do you have in your hand? So he had to make an assessment. And he says, I have this rod in my hand. And did God use the rod? Yeah. Absolutely. And so God will use the things that we have right in our hands today. Now I want you to go back and think, when I go back home, what in my life is positive that's going to help me reach my long-term health mission? That's what positive things in my life that's going to encourage me, help me, elevate me to complete my mission? When I make my assessment, what do I have?
What do you have already or what you
What do you have already? When you go back home, what do you have already? That's positive. These are all positives right now. Okay? So I could put for myself, oh, I live in a healthy environment. I could put my environment. I could put, I have a supportive family, so I have support. You know, I can put, I have knowledge. You know, I have information. Okay? You can put now, you have information, you have these things. So you're going to list the things that you have positive in your life that going to help you continue on the road to good health and to reach your long-term goals. So you know what? When we're making our assessment, because we live in a fallen world, there's going to be usually some negatives too. Some things that you're going to have to deal with that's in your life that will be, how can I say it?
Distractions.
Okay, I like that. Distractions or hurdles that you're going to have to deal with that are in your life. Can you make an assessment and figure out what's the negative things in my life that are going to, I have to learn to deal with that maybe that would prevent me from reaching my goals? Okay, what is that? I would put for myself my own personality. My own personality, the type one, want to do everything and take care of everybody except myself. When I make that assessment, then I need to work on that, right? Or I can put a change of schedule, the varied schedule where I can't be consistent in what I'm doing. That could be something I could assess. So you're going to assess the things in your life. Maybe you're working a job, you're taking care of your kids, and you have your church ministries like that. Or I could say, I try to do the direction. I try to do prison ministry. I work in my church as health and temperance leader. I try to do this and that. And it's just a lot of stuff to keep up with. So these are the assessments that you will make that are not so much negative, but things that you need to adjust and deal with. Okay. Let me go to the next page. And the P is for, it's time to make a plan. To make a plan is to organize the how. To organize the how. Organize how you're going to do things. You're making a plan. I don't know who said it, but it says if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay? So most of our plan is going to be on the things that we need to work on, right? We don't need to really make a plan of things that we're already doing right and we're going through, but things that we want to do. So today I want you to make a 1 degree plan, you know? So if I'm going the wrong direction and I need to make a U-turn, how much degree is that to go to the 180 degrees? Okay. Sometimes the health guests leave and they're ready to make 180 degree changes. But you know what? It becomes very overwhelming, and you know what they do? They usually give up. I don't want you to do 180 degrees. I just want you to start turning slightly away from the wrong direction, 1 degree at a time. So what I want you to think about, look at the things that on your negative side that you need to work on. Think about the things that you've experienced here and what you would like, first thing you would like to change. And I want you to come up with just two 1 degree plans. 1 degree. That means there are small steps. Maybe you were going to bed at 11:30 and your 1 degree is you're going to try to get to bed by 10:30. That's only an hour earlier. But that would make a significant difference. It's a 1 degree. And then you say, oh, I start to go in bed regularly at 10:30. Now I'm going to try to go to bed by 10 for the next 3 months. And then you do that for 3 months and you say, well, now I'm going to try to reach the final goal is to be to bed by 9:30. That's my final goal. But I didn't do it just as soon as I left here. I went from staying up till 11:30, and I come to Heartland for 11 days, and now I'm going to be in the bed by 8:30. How long you think that's going to last? Not too long. But the 1 degree, keep moving toward that change. It really is beneficial. Okay, so I want you to think of 2 1 degree things that you're going to do. Maybe you never ate breakfast and you came here and you eat breakfast for these days. When you get home, say, oh, I'm going to try to eat breakfast every day, or I'm going to try to eat breakfast 3 times a week, because I was eating breakfast no time. Okay, so I want you to think of 2 1-degree plans or goals that you are going to try to achieve. All right. Now, in our plans, there's always triggers and barriers. What is a trigger?
Something that sets off something.
That's right. Something that stimulates a desire. And usually when you're trying to make life changes, it makes a negative stimulation. I'll tell you something. In the aisle number 9 at Walmart is my trigger.
What's there? What is it?
Aisle number 9 is the chip aisle.
Oh, shit.
The chips, the snack aisle.
Yeah.
So when I go down that aisle, I can't
Call your
resist.
name.
Oh, I love blue chips. Blue chips and some salsa.
Yeah.
But do I need it? Absolutely not. Huh?
No, it's not good.
No, I don't need that. For me, I don't need it. It's got a lot of fat and salt. I don't need it. Refined, I don't need it. So when I go down there and I see my favorite chips down aisle number 9, am I triggered? Absolutely. Okay. So what do I have to do?
Don't go down aisle number 9.
My plan is don't go down aisle number 9. Why would I trigger myself if I don't need to? Another triggers and barriers can be different during the week if you look on the next page, and then they can be different on the weekend. So during the week, what's my triggers? Going to bed when I get off work and don't get on my phone and start watching videos. I don't know why. I like to watch all kinds of videos. How to paint, how to lay carpet. I don't know why I do this.
I know.
And then, last night I was on the phone trying to find these. I saw this health guest. She had these things called Snuggers. They were like these leggings with this cute little skirt. I was like, let me look up those and see if they're on sale at 9:30 at night. Do I need to do that? I could check that sometime today. So if I'm going to look at what's the triggers and barriers, some I have at night, my phone can be a trigger to get there, and one video leads to another.
That's why I plug mine out in the living room, and then I don't even bring it in my bedroom.
See, I love that. So that's a good solution to that kind of problem.
It's just too tempting to have it in my room.
That's right.
Because then I'll hear a little ding, and I'm like, oh, what's that? Let's see what that is. Yeah. And it's just some dumb advertisement, but
And then it gets you going.
then I might as well check my Facebook
That's
an hour later. There you go.
The hour later is gone. And so you got what I'm saying? We have triggers. Now, triggers are usually things that you can avoid. Like I do not have to walk down aisle number 9 and I don't have to take my phone and put it by my bedside. I can leave it in the living room. Barriers are usually things that you can't just get rid of, but you have to deal with. Okay? A spouse that doesn't want to do this health thing and you get home and you're all excited and they're not. You could do a form of divorce, but it's better to learn how to deal with it. Is that right? Okay. Or you go back home and you just stop smoking, and you go back and all your buddies, your relatives, and everybody smoke. You can't kind of send them a letter. Can't be your relative, and we're not having any more family functions because you all smoke and I don't. That doesn't work. So there are barriers that you have to learn how to live with. Usually the barriers are relationships that people who don't understand or they're not ready for your new experience when you go back home, or situations that involve relationships. I'll give you a good example. We had a health guest. Her name was Mrs. Finley, not Mark Finley's wife, but Mrs. Finley. She was from Illinois. And she says, oh, my trigger is potluck at church. Oh. And it's a barrier too, because I have to go. Like a trigger you can avoid, but a barrier you have to learn how to deal with it, right? She says, I have to go because I'm the hospitality host.
Oh boy.
What can I do? So we came up with a plan, and what she did was start printing out recipe cards, and she would make a special vegan meal. And she would and people would taste the food, and she would give out the recipe cards. And she actually wrote me a letter and said, this plan worked out really well. I don't have to seem like the oddball, with all this new foods. I'm exciting other people to eat healthier, and I have something to eat at the potluck. See how she solved that? Okay, so
That's what I put it.
that's what you put. Okay,
Bring a dish.
bring a dish.
Gonna eat.
That's right. And I want to tell you from my experience when I changed my lifestyle is to go slow and be kind. Like when I came to the realization that we shouldn't eat meat, I was about to pull the chicken leg out my husband's mouth every time he ate it. Either physically or verbally. You shouldn't be eating that. What are you doing? And then he's just getting angry.
Well, then they're going to do it more.
And they're going to do it more.
Yeah.
But when I learned, I remember one time I had cooked, my first whole vegan meal. And it was nasty. It didn't taste good. I had steamed already slimy tofu. I steamed it, made it more slimy, and then I poured tomato sauce on top of it and kind of baked it. No seasoning, nothing. And I made I just made a whole dish. It was nice. I put it all on the table, and my husband and my children are sitting there, and they're looking like, we are not eating this. And so they sat there for about 5 minutes, and then my husband says, kids, come on, let's go to Burger King. And they left me with my food. I felt so bad.
Oh, that's hard.
But the Lord said, he showed me, you cannot behave this way. You'll never win them this way.
Yeah.
So what I began to do is continue to cook their food in the way we were eating, and I would make mine separate. But once I got really good at it, guess what they're doing? What's that you got? I'm like, why are you worried? Your food is right here. Then my daughter said, can I just taste what you have? Oh, sure. And I'll give her a little taste. Oh, that's good. And so I began to make more of the things that I was learning how to make and less of that. And we had peace and harmony. So what I'm trying to say is be gentle. Just because you're convinced doesn't mean your family, your friends, your children, are convinced. So triggers, we can get rid of them. I don't have to go down aisle 9. I don't have to buy that Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Barriers, they're relationships. I have to be wise in how I deal with them, okay, as you make your plans. So you're going to list your weekday triggers and barriers and then your weekend triggers and barriers. All right. I want to go down in your planning. You need to list the people who are going to work with you. That's page 3. List your partners. Who do you have around you that's going to help you reach your goals? Who is it that will help you reach your goals? Let's list some partners. You can list Heartland Lifestyle Center or Heartland Wellness Center. We're here to help you reach your goals. Okay. You have church members or family you can put down that can help you reach your goals.
Ourselves.
Yourselves.
Need to
Yeah.
get our hearts and minds right.
And God is your partner.
I should have put him first.
What about finding a walking partner, a friend that you can walk? My neighbor, her name was Marlene. She's still my buddy. And she would knock on my door. She called me Pulley. Pulley, time to walk. Be 5 o'clock in the morning. Pulley, you ready? And I was like, I'm coming, girl. And we would go walk, Miss Marlene. And so, you have this walking partner that can help motivate you. Accountability partner is wonderful. All right, so we list our partners. Now let's go to page 4. This is the honey of everything. I is the honey. Okay, we've got our overall mission. We've assessed the positives and the negatives. We've evaluated the positives and the negatives. And we've made our 1 degree goal. And then we listed our partners, right? We did all of this. All right, now this is the honey. The I is to implement. Okay. Now when we're implementing, we want to be smart. Specific, smart. We want to be specific. Okay. Let's just choose exercise on your nutrition thing. Okay, this implementation. I need to be specific. How many minutes am I going to exercise? What days? Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Be very specific. You just can't say, oh, when I get home, I'm going to exercise. So you need to be specific. So let's do exercise. Everybody together. How are you going to exercise? And we're going to stop and share this one. Be specific. It has to be measurable. Okay? I'm going to do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay? It has to be achievable. What are you going to say? I'm going to get home and I'm going to walk 80 minutes a day. Okay? Is that realistic for some people when you're just starting off? No. Okay? So it needs to be something you can really achieve. Realistic. So smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Okay? That's what you want, to be smart when you implement. So what time, how long, make it achievable, make it realistic, and timely. Okay? Alrighty. Now you want to put some times. How long are you going to do it? You're going to walk for you're going to exercise for how long? 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes? Okay, you want to put that in the thing. And what days? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Sunday through to Thursday, you need to put those times. So be specific. Yes. So on this list, if you see, it's the New Start Plan. And this is the 8 laws of health that we talked about: nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest, and trust in divine power. And you're going to make your specific plan along those lines. Okay? And you're going to do this through, for sunshine. How much sunshine exposure are you going to do? Very good question. And if you're not getting that much sunshine exposure, at least figure out whether or not you need to take vitamin D. So on your lab work, I know they told you what your D levels are. Okay, you want to get those levels up if they're not 50 micrograms.
I went into vitamin D talk.
Temperance, a very good question.
Yeah.
Temperance is what is the things that you use carefully that are good for you, and the things that are bad for you, you don't put them in your body. That's temperance. Self-control, there you go. Now, let me go through them all really quick. Nutrition. We want to look at, as close as possible, the optimal diet is the plant-based diet. It is. It's the biblical diet. The optimal diet for good health is the plant-based diet. So you want to see how close you can get to the biblical diet in having an whole plant-based nutrition. Exercise. We want to ask people to lose at least, let's do 15 minutes more than you were doing when you came. If you were doing nothing, 15 minutes start. If you were doing 30 minutes, then think about 45. If you're doing 45, then try to push it to an hour. So you want to do at least 30 to 45 minutes of daily exercise. Okay? And exercise can be broken up into increments. And it can be part of your daily life. Like I say, I have to go up those flights of steps 10 times a day at least, and walk this hall at least 6 times a day. Or I'm not going to park my car right in front of the Walmart, but I'll park it at the other end and walk. Or instead of taking the elevator, I'll take the stairs. So you can make your exercise a part of your daily life. So you want to count your steps and know what you're doing. Remember, you were made to move. Not moving is an abnormal thing for a human being. Okay, we were made to move. Okay, water. You want half your body weight in water. Half your body weight in water. Half your body weight in ounces. Okay, so if I was 120, would be nice. That would be 60 ounces of water. Divide that by 8. How much would that be? 8 times 8. 8 times 8. Almost 8. Almost 8. Okay. Almost 8 cups of water. That would be cups. So I'm going to divide it by 8 and that'll give me the cups. Okay. How do you fit the water in? Make a schedule for that. When I wake up in the morning, 2 cups. Okay. After breakfast, 2 cups. When I do my morning walk, exercise, 2 cups. Right there, 2, 4, 6. In the afternoon, 1 cup then and 1 cup before bed. Whatever you want to do, but be intentional so you get the water in. Okay.
How many ounces in 1 cup?
8 ounces. 8 ounces in 1 cup. 8 fluid ounces.
4 ounces.
So what happens when you don't drink enough water? The best illustration I have for you, first of all, I want you to remember that every medium in your body that is going to function properly needs water. Your brain, your breathing, your skin, your bowels, your kidneys, your joints, all need water. So what do you need to do? How do you do it? Then you have to schedule that water in. Now, what does it look like if you don't drink water? It looks like Thanksgiving Day. Your dishwasher breaks. You've invited your whole family. You cooked a 4-course meal, and you have all those dishes, and you try to wash them with 6 cups of water.
Yeah.
Would that work? Would you eat out of those plates? Not me. Okay? So it's inadequate water to do the job that your body needs to do. How does it show? Drier skin, headaches, the feeling that you're hungry but your body's really thirsty. Okay? Dysfunction, dark and smelly urine. Okay? Constipation. This is how it looks like when you're too dehydrated. Okay? There's a book that entitled "I'm Not Sick, I'm Thirsty."
Oh, yeah.
And just drinking water changed the game.
It does.
So if you just ate, and the 4th hour you feel like you're hungry, you might be thirsty. Okay, you're reading the signal wrong. The body's saying, "Give me some water," and you think it's saying, "Give me something to eat." And you eat something else, and then the body says, "You know what? I'm still thirsty." And you get that signal, "Oh, I'm still hungry," and you go eat something else. So remember, if it's been close to time to eat and you get that sensation, it's not saying eat more, it's saying drink more and drink water. Okay, sunlight. How much sunlight should we have? Okay, you want to be careful with the exposure. It depends on the medications you're taking. Some medications make you very sun sensitive. It depends on the amount of melanin in your skin. Okay, the darker the skin, like me, I can take a lot of sun. Okay, the darker the skin, more sun. The lighter the skin, the lighter the eyes, less sun. What do you want to expose to the sun? Well, to get your best intake, the inner arm, the ray of the sun to the eye, but not like if it's a snowstorm and you get that reflection, or in the beach when there's too much, you need sunshades. But a regular day, allow your body to absorb some of the ray to the eye. Exposing the back, the naked back to the sun is a good way to get a lot of sun into your body. Okay? Does the sun give you vitamin D? No. What does the sun do? Stimulate the body as a precursor for the production of vitamin D. Okay? So you want to get that sun. If you're not getting enough sun, then you need to take a vitamin D3 supplement. Temperance, we talked about that. Stay away from that which is bad, and take those things and use carefully those things that are good. Okay? Self-control. I think it was Solomon that said, a man that doesn't have self-control is like a house without walls. Okay? So we want to ask God to help us have self-control. I can tell you most conflicts and situations in our life, you look back, is from a lack of self-control. Overeating, addictions, shopaholics, all these things, they are linked to lack of self-control. Air, we want to take the time to sit up straighter, push our shoulders back, expand our lungs so we can breathe better. Have plants in your home, in your bedrooms, in your living rooms. They're very nice to have because they absorb bad things and then they express oxygen. So plants in the home. Put all your chemicals in one place, like downstairs in the basement, not in your bathroom where you brush your teeth, not in the kitchen where you stand there and wash dishes, because those fumes, though you can't smell them, they still escape from those bottles. So put your cleaning things further away instead of the normal common living spaces. These are the things we can do. Sleep with your bedroom window cracked just a bit, even in the winter time. Okay? Expose your house to sunlight. Don't have heavy drapes that prevent the light from coming in. These are very common things, but they have great health benefits. Rest. This is the most neglected one, rest. We need to rest our minds, rest our hearts in Jesus, Come unto me, all you labor and heavy laden, and I will give you what? Rest. So we want to rest. We need to go to bed. 9:30 is the best time. 9:30 is the best.
You're trying for 8 hours a day.
Yes, trying. 9:30 is the best time. Bed by 9:30. At least say the house will be quiet by 9. You see, I'm going to prepare for bed at 9:30. And we can call this rest hygiene. Look, let me paint a beautiful picture. Your bedroom should be your prettiest room in your house. Most people, they spend all their money in the living room for guests, right? But you spend 8 solid hours in your bedroom. It should be the prettiest room. You should have nice linen and nice pillows, so comfortable, clean. It should not be your storage room. It should not be your office, your filing cabinet. That your bedroom should not be that. Your bedroom should be nice and beautiful and clean and comfortable. That's where you go to rest. So if we're going to do rest hygiene, we'll take a nice shower, lower the lights in the room, have a nice music if need to, get in your favorite pajamas, and your bedroom is only for 2 things, sleep or sex. That's it. It's not for you to study, no, on your computer, no. You got no other rooms for that. Your bedroom is for rest. Okay? And so we want to practice this. And the last one is to trust in divine power. What are you going to do to stay spiritually connected with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, your creator and your keeper? What are you going to do? You need to have a specific plan for that. I'm going to have my devotional life. I'm going to start 10 minutes a day if you're doing nothing. Okay? Start with 10. I'll tell you, it will grow.
I have
Okay.
pray, study, read, share, and discuss.
All right, good. But what specific times? What time are you going to get up in the morning and read your Bible? What are you going to read? It doesn't have to be your Bible. It can be a devotional. Okay? I'll tell you a really quick one. Proverbs has 31 verses, 31 chapters. If you read Proverbs 1 chapter a day, you will get through it every month. And you will gain a lot of wisdom. Okay? So I'm going to read, like when I do Bible studies with people, a girl I'm studying with now online, all we do is discuss the book of John. So I give her 1 chapter to read in the book of John, or a passage. We started with the passage because she never read the Bible before. 1 passage, and then when we meet on Monday, we talk about the passage. And then we go to the next passage, and we go that. So 1 passage a day. Get your little journal. I have just notebook paper, but now I have it on my computer. I have my morning journal folder. I read my devotion. What I do is summarize what I've read, and then I put my prayer. But first, after I read it, I see what God is telling me. I put my needs that I found from the reading. Oh, I need to be more humble. Oh, I need to take more time for this. I'll write my needs from the reading. And then I'll write my prayer from my needs. And then that's my morning devotion. That's how I started. I choose 1 hymn a month. I sing that hymn the whole month, just 1. Okay? So let's say I Surrender All, 309 in the hymn book upstairs. I'll sing that every day for 1 month. I'll look up the author. Why did they write it? What were they trying to surrender? What message? Who were they trying to convey it to? And I get real intimate with that hymn. And it becomes through the day I'm singing that hymn, you know. I surrender all.
Then you'll have that the rest of your
Yes, that's right. And I memorize 1 scripture per month. I used to do more, but the older I get, I can just do 1 a month. I said 1 a month, that's 12 new ones a year. Okay? And I review it. So January, I'll have a new Bible verse, and I have it on my list on my phone, on my computer. And I'll say scriptures for the month. I'll memorize that. Like right now, I'm memorizing 2 Corinthians 5:21. Now, the last part of the MAPI is E. We have to be able to evaluate. Okay, if I'm trying to lose weight, my goal would be that I would weigh myself at least just once a week. Every day will give you disappointment. So if I'm going to try to lose weight, then A healthy weight loss is 1.5 to 2 pounds a week. Okay, so if you lost 3 pounds here, that was good.
I
Okay,
was upset.
1.5 to 2 pounds a week is healthy weight loss.
Wait if you not
Don't
really
need
supposed
to. That's right. So if you want to lose weight, know that a healthy weight loss is 1.5 to 2 pounds. I would advise not weighing yourself more than once a week. So you can say every Sunday morning, the first day of the week, I am going to weigh myself. Now, don't get discouraged, because sometimes you lose weight and you start gaining muscle and the weight goes back up. But you can measure your waist around your arms, your thigh circumference, and then maybe do that once a month. And then you'll say, wow, I lost 3 inches, or 4 inches. So even though the weight doesn't change, the inches are going down. Okay, so we want to do that. Another thing, if you have blood pressure problems, get a little notebook and write down your blood pressure, or get a calendar and write it down.
That's
Take
assuming
it.
everybody has
Yes,
blood
if you have high blood pressure problems and you're trying to get it down, or the doctor took you off your medications and you go home, write them down. Why? When you will go to your doctor, you can say, without medications, my blood pressure is doing this now. So take a record. Cholesterol, you want to keep your cholesterol in a healthy average. And so if the doctor told you that your cholesterol was a problem, when would you check that? About 6 months after the change of diet. Blood glucose, the same thing. A1C, hemoglobin A1C, is a 3-month evaluation of your blood cells to see how much glucose they have contained. And so if you had a high hemoglobin A1C here, like it's borderline pre-diabetic or it's just over the bridge of diabetes, you want to adopt this diet in 3 months, get another evaluation. Pain.
We could check after 3 months from now. To see.
Yes. Pain. Well, that'll just come. Oh, I used to have pain in my shoulder, but I don't have that much pain. Or I have a rotator cuff and I could only do my arm this, but now I can do this. So you can evaluate that by the reduction or the increase of pain, or the increase or the reduction of range of motion. And endurance. I only could walk from here to the gate, but now I can walk all around the building and do the gate and do it again. So you want to gauge what I'm doing now and then have goals of what you want to do. So let's say you can't do but one time around the track near your home. You say, okay, but in 3 months, I want to be able to go 2 times or 3 times around the track. We need to make these goals to increase our endurance. Okay? And so these are the wonderful things we can do for our health. The last thing I want to tell you is I believe everyone as we age should have a health journal. What does that mean? A health journal, we keep our weight on there. If we notice something different, oh, there's a new mole here on my forehead. I noticed that. Oh, I noticed that my left toe is kind of crinkling or going to the left, or any health things that you start noticing, you should put the date and journal it. So when you go to your doctor or you notice something, you look and say, when did I first see that thing on me? And it's right there for you. Okay, I have a health journal. I noticed when my blood pressure started going up past 120, I wrote that down. I have a new mole right here, I wrote it down. And I look at it, it's a brown color. So if it changes, I can say, oh, it's looking red now, I better get that evaluated. You see? So it's just good that we have a health journal. Just write down the things that we see going on with our body. Okay? All righty? So this is our health plan. We want to have a plan so that we can plan to succeed and not to fail in our health journey. So let's be healthy, you all. Let's plan to be healthy. Let's do our best to honor the temple that the Lord God gave us. Be proved good stewards, because he's going to ask you, what did you do with the things I gave you? Were you a good steward or not? So let's be saying yes.